What's going on, everybody? What's going on? It is me, Overseer JC Jones. It is Monday. It is a little after 10 a.m. here in Phoenix, Arizona, so that means you must be, have to be, gots to be watching Faith Drip. Listen, y'all already know what it is. You know what you gotta do. Make sure you subscribe, like, love, tag, share, do all of that. Let's get on into them algorithms. Let's make sure that we are flooding the timeline with what God said. Come on, y'all. Let's get ready to drip today as we drop those seeds. What? As always, to increase your faith. Come on, somebody. I already see Deke, my Deke Terrell. I see you on Facebook today. Hey, I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it. Let me go over to YouTube. I want to make sure at least I'm on YouTube. When we had some problems with YouTube yesterday for the service. Not sure, but we'll get it straight. Okay, we are on YouTube as well today. Oh, you both places. You messing with me. You both places. I got you. I love what you're doing. Be everywhere. You being really godlike right now. Okay, you everywhere. I like it. I ain't mad at it. Listen. Just begin coming on in. Make sure you love, like, tag, and share. Please, let's get our shares up. Can we? Let's get our shares up. My God. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm just looking at some things. Yeah. As you see, today is me time. And I was really going in a certain place, and God is flipping my whole thing around actually while I'm even sitting here. So, you know, he definitely has a sense of humor. I'm going to tell you that. As I'm ready and prepared to do one thing, he's like, no, we'll stay with me time, but I want you to focus it in an area. I want you to concentrate that thing in a certain area. So, yes, Father. Yes, we will. Yes, I will. Keep coming on in. Make sure you subscribe, love it, like it, share it. Oh, there it is at Faith Truth CC for everything. Okay? Faith Truth CC. Hit that @ sign right in front of it, and we pop everywhere at Faith Truth CC. Listen, just come on in. I hope you all, had a great Thanksgiving. I'm just realizing I haven't talked to you all since Wednesday. So, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you didn't eat too much and you slept just enough. Plenty of football on this past weekend, starting Friday. Well, Thursday, actually, Thanksgiving. It's been football every day since Thanksgiving. So I pray that was well and all good for you. Everything was gravy. That even you had some gravy. Whatever. Let's see. I hope your Sunday was good. Church was good. We had some good church. Determination. If you want to go back and check it out. Like I said, it did not, for some reason, come up on YouTube. So you got to go check it out on Facebook this week. We'll get it straight but it is on Facebook. So go check out Determination. God is good. That's all I'm gonna say. His word was great. You know, I was just a vessel, but his word was on point. So go check that out. Listen, me time. Yeah, that's what we on. That's what we on. I'm getting ready to go ahead and flip the beat, flip the vibe, get everything moving, cause I'm kind of just ready to get on into this thing today. As we talk about me time. Let's go on and hit it here. I already got a couple ready, so, you know, I don't even have to question that. But, you know, there is a thing in the Bible, a word in the Bible that a lot of times we kind of overlook, as though, well, that's an Old Testament thing. Even Jesus talked about, well, it isn't so definite in its meaning. And I'm talking about like the Sabbath, the day of rest, right? The time that we just supposed to, hey, chill out, take a break. Me time, right? But even Jesus was like, hey, he gave the parable because he healed somebody on the Sabbath and they was all in an uproar. And he was like, well, if your cattle or your child fell in a well on the Sabbath, would you not go rescue them? And of course, they were left astounded with nothing to say because they knew they would. And then he healed the man, saying, hey, when rescuing needs to happen, when a healing needs to happen, even on the Sabbath, let it happen. But I was thinking a little bit because, you know, a lot of times, especially now, you know, holidays and people just busy, sometimes busy for no reason, just busy to be busy. And what I've learned over time is that when you are so busy being busy, rarely, if ever, do you take time out for yourself. And what happens when we do that? What happens when we just so busy being busy? One, we not getting good rest. I promise you that. Ain't no good sleep happening. Makes us irritable. We also know scientifically how our body is made. It is when we are resting that our body heals itself. So a lot of times when we are so busy, we open ourselves up to attack, right? This is when we start to break down, right? Yeah. This when we all of a sudden we seem like sometimes we get out of ourselves, meaning you're not acting like you. What's going on? Is everything okay? That's usually because, you know, you just haven't had the me time. You haven't had rest. You haven't taken time to say, you know what? I just need a moment to take care of me. A rest. And I found this scripture that I had to listen just so I could make sure I was contextually in the vein of the scripture. I had to read a lot because I ain't got time to do that now. But over in Hebrews in chapter 4, there is a area where it's talking about a Sabbath rest for the people of God. In how in chapter 3 of Hebrews, there was this warning of how the people that followed Moses didn't get to enter because of their unbelief. And he was talking about, see to it, brothers and sisters, that none of you has a sinful, unbelieving heart that turns away from the living God. But encourage one another daily as long as it is called today, so that none of you may be hardened by sinful deceitfulness. It repeats and repeats. Today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts as you did in the rebellion. Right? And then you get to 4 of Hebrews 4, and it says, therefore, since the promise of entering his rest still stands, let us be careful that none of you be found to have fallen short of it. Short of what? His rest. For we have good news proclaimed to us just as they did, but the message they heard was of no value to them because they did not have the faith of those who've obeyed. Now we who have believed enter that rest, just as God has said. Now, as the more I read this, and it goes on to saying, yet his works have been finished since the creation of the world. For somewhere he has spoken about the seventh day in these words, the seventh day, Sabbath. It goes on to say, on the seventh day, God rested from all his works. And again, in this passage above, he says, they shall never enter my rest. Therefore, since it still remains for some to enter the rest, and since those who formerly had the good news proclaimed to their disobedience, God again set a certain day, calling it today. This he did when a long time later he spoke through David, as in the passage, today if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts. And I'm just going, that can be confusing. It's the reason I kept reading it, because I know somebody's going, overseer usually is so clear. What is he saying? I'm quite confused. Sabbath, rest. It sounds like dying rest. What rest are we talking about? What I want to just focus on today is the fact that we must take time to fast and pray. We must take time to stop all of the motion around us from being so busy that we can just spend time with God. Because what I do hear over and over and over again, a warning over and over and over, is not to become unbelieving and do not harden your hearts. He says it over and over, in a rebellion. See, one thing I know, when you become so busy feeling like I got to get this done, I got to get this paid, I got to get this and I got to get that, you become so focused on everything else but God. I always know I'm going to get there. When we are so focused on everything going on all around us, I got to get this paid. I got Christmas is coming. I got to get the kids. I got to get the wife, the husband. I got to. And you're counting this and you're counting that. And really what you're counting is I don't have enough. So since I don't have enough, I got to do more. Maybe I can pick up more hours. Maybe I can get a second job. Maybe I can do this and maybe I can do that. And what you're doing is snatching time away from him. There's only 24 hours in a day, and you're trying to figure out how you can get more time, not for him, but how you can get more time for you to accomplish what things you want to do, that you feel like you have to do to please them. And I ask you now, what about him? A lot of times when we take this thought about me time, we look at, man, I just need to rest. I don't want to do nothing. And we truly, as the word says, me time, we're focusing on ourselves. And that's cool. But in that time, really, as the Sabbath was, it was a day that God said, I've done everything I'm going to do. I'm just going to rest and not do nothing. And I'm just going to look at what is already good. What I've done. Wow, look at that. And this is not you to actually mimic God in the way that you're looking around at what you've done, but it is a time for you to take me time to look around and see what God has done. What will that do for you? I'm glad you asked me. Because see, when we're so busy, we are complaining about what we don't have, and why does it look like this, and why does it look like that, and I wish I had, and if I'm almost there. But when we take a rest, take a seat, get us some me time, and just look around, we will start to notice, wow, God did that. You know what? I remember when we didn't even have this. I remember when God did that. Man, yeah. Look at her running around. I remember when she was so sick and we had to pray. And look at her now. Boy, look at my boy. I remember when he couldn't do this and do that, but wow, look at him now. Look at my wife. Look at my husband. I remember when they weren't and could not and did not have, but look at them now. See, when we take me time, we should, yes, rest. We should, yes, pray. Yes, really just relax and let the stress and the burdens go of our day-to-day and all of that. But we also need to take me time to really just bask and look at God. See, I'm going to help somebody today because I know, I'm pretty certain, I'm 99.99 that when you hear me time, when you say, I just need some me time, that me time doesn't include God. Me time is just about me. Me is, I need to get me together. But you know what happens when me time is focused on me? Well, I'm still worried about me. And I'm worried about what I got to do after I finish this me time. And man, I don't have a lot of time because I got to get over here. And me time turns into what you're trying to escape from. Do you want rest or not? Do you want to really enjoy the harvest? We talk about harvest time and overflow and look at the blessings and praises come up, blessings come down. Y'all know the songs and we all in this and that, but then guess what? You on to the next thing and you're not even looking at the blessings, what God has already done in your life. How he's multiplied your family. How he's turned a chaotic family into a happy, joyful family. Look, there's laughter here. I remember a year ago, there was no laughter here. See, if you don't take time out to just stop and look at what God's done, then I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. The warning that keeps coming over and over and over. If you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts as you did in the rebellion. Those people that followed Moses saw God, heard God, witnessed miracles, and yet their hearts were hardening because they weren't taking me time to rest and look at what God got us out of this and God supplied that. No, they were so busy trying to get to where he said they were going to go, and why is it taking too long? And just like the kids in your back seat, are we there yet? Over and over and over, that when he's trying to get a word to him, when he's trying to talk to Moses so he can bring down the commandments, carved in stone, another miracle. What do? Their hearts get hardened, complaining, carving golden and wooden idols, praying and asking help to someone else, from someone else, because they didn't take time out to just look around and say, you know what? I'm not where I want to be, but I sure ain't where I used to be. What are you doing in your me time? I really want you to know. I see it's silent on here today. I really want to know, what are you doing in your me time? Are you taking me time? And when you take it, is it solely me time. Because that usually doesn't really work out that great. It's important that you stop running around day to day, hustling and bustling. Take a break just as God did. But when you take that break, what do you do with it? I think that's really what I just want to ask the question. What does me time look like for you? What are you doing with it? Because sometimes if me time is where I'm just going to relax, I'm going to watch this and watch that, and all of a sudden you find yourself doing and watching things that start to speak to your flesh and make things rise up in you that would have you do and say and think things that you wouldn't normally do, then what did that me time really do for you? Did it set you free, or did it put you more in bondage? Because I'm going to tell you, don't call me time observing the Sabbath when it takes you away from the Lord. Don't ask me where that came from, but I'm going to tell you it was completely necessary. The whole reason we call it the Sabbath is because I'm going to stop doing what I got to do, worrying about what I got to do, what I got to get, just to take a minute and just look at what God's already done. I'm going to talk to God. I'm going to spend some time. I'm going to relax. But can I just do what God did and just watch and marvel at what He's done? When is the last time you've done that? Oh, I guarantee most of you have taken a day of rest, relaxed, but have you done that? Because is it resting and relaxing when you're worrying about what's not happening because you're resting and relaxing? I'm going to say that one more time. Is it resting and relaxing if you're spending the time worrying about what's not happening because you're resting and relaxing? Make it make sense. This is a season we're about to go into where, listen, it's all on you. Truly, it's all on you. What becomes of it, it's on you. And I'm giving a sneak peek to my New Year's word, but truly, watch your step. And watch your step doesn't mean don't take a step. It truly means watch your step. As you're moving forward, make sure you see where you're stepping. See where you don't need to step. See how you need to step. See how far you got to step. Watch your step. This is going to be a season of work. It's going to be a season of relaxation. It's going to be a season of prayer. It's going to be a season of fasting. It's going to be a season of harvest. It's going to be a season of signs, miracles, and wonders. But I'm going to tell you, it's also going to be a season because this never ends. There's always a season or a part of a season in every season where there's some type of devastation. So the best way to avoid devastation in the natural sense is pay attention to your meteorologist. For the meteorologist indicates weather changes, what's happening here, what's happening there. It's also important that you pay attention to your past experiences. See, I know I'm from the Midwest. When it's really, really, really nice outside, all of a sudden becomes really, really cold too quick, then I know, oh, this is a problem. Because this is how tornadoes happen. See, I know that from experience. Don't ignore your experience. Don't ignore your past. Your past happened for a reason. It gave you wisdom and ways to step. But do this while you are stepping. But when you rest, when you get that me time, truly make it be what it was supposed to be. Whatever you're dealing with, it's going to be there when you get to stepping again. Whatever you're worried about, whatever you got to do, wherever, how far you need to go, what money you need to make, what job you got to get back to, it's all going to be there. Truly learn how to stop for a second and just marvel at what he has done. Take your me time to another level and include him in it. I just wanted to drop a little something on you today. As we in the hustle and bustle season, take time out. Don't worry about what you can or cannot get. Look back and look at what has already been given and reflect on that just for a moment. Hey, this is Overseer. This is Faith Trip. Hey, quickly, Christmas in the Park. We coming up on it this Sunday. If you want to donate, you still can. There's a QR code for donations. If you have something physical, contact me. Holler at me. If you're trying to get something to me so I can get it down there for the kids, so we can be a blessing to someone else, so they don't have to worry. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Hey, support the ministry, support the drip, faithtruthcc.org/donate all day, every day. We appreciate you. We can't do what we it's like that. Hey, I think that's my time. I'm gonna get them on out of here. Listen, get you some me time the right way. Remember, God is always walking with you, and I promise you, every single time, through every single season, he always will. God bless.